Hey guys, and welcome to your daily mobility flow. So I heard through the grapevine you have a sore back. Well, maybe you don't, but I do. And so I'm going to walk you guys through a little sore back routine for when you wake up and your back is sore. That was not supposed to rhyme, but it did. We're going to start with pigeon. Okay, your glutes, square that knee up in front of your body, rotate over top. And we're just going to spend about a minute on each side to get things rolling. Your glutes act on the hip. They are a hip extender. They also stabilize the hip quite a bit. And so what we want to do when your low back is tight or sore is we really want to take care of all the muscles around it first and foremost. So we're going to hit glutes, hip flexors, a little bit of hamstrings, and then we'll work towards the actual low back by the end of the video. So we're going to start with glutes. This is literally like exactly what I would do. It is exactly what I am doing because literally my low back is kind of sore right now. So we're going to hit this. Let's switch sides. We're going to try to keep moving, not spend too much time in any one position, but make sure that we have time for everything. And just, our typical kind of 10 to 12 minute routine flow. But we got to get the glutes first. So again, glutes, hip extension. Next, we're going to go towards the hip flexion side of things, and we're going to hit the hip flexors. We don't call the glutes the hip extenders. I don't know why. I don't know why they call them the hip flexors. But they do. They have other names like your psoas. But that's what we're stretching. Get it? Never mind. I'm the worst at this. All right, up to one knee. We're gonna do our modified couch stretch. So one foot out in front, hand into the back, hand into the back foot, foot into the back hand. And we're gonna drop this hip forward. We're really gonna focus on hip dominance today, not knee dominance, okay? So I'm just gonna hold my foot up and drive that hip forward. If you wanna rest your foot up on something like a couch or like those pillows so you don't have to hold it, it's perfectly fine. I wanna focus on driving hip down and forward. And then if you wanna add in a little foot pull, you can, but again, we wanna focus on getting higher up, and that's gonna happen with less knee flexion, actually. This is more knee flexion, less knee flexion. Okay, now we're gonna let that foot down, and we're gonna drop the hip down even further and kind of sink your chest down into the ground. Again, just let this hip drop and sink down into the floor. I like to play with my angles, so like a little bit of rotation here and there to kind of go searching in those hip flexors for a little bit of extra tight. Okay, let's switch sides. So other foot up into the hand, or prop it up against a wall or a couch or something. Try to relax this hand and drive the hip forward. All right, let's let that foot down and drive the hips towards the ground and your chest down. Okay, from here we're going to stand up, leave your feet wide, and we're we're gonna hit your hamstrings in this kind of wide foot position. So I got about double shoulder width. Foot, that's about one shoulder width, second shoulder width. And I'm just gonna sit down, my chest, sit it down, and kind of work my upper body side to side. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna walk your feet back, and we're just gonna work a little bit of flexion extension here on the low back. So I'm going into a little bit of working the abs open. And your abs are actually a hip flexor, along with like your hip flexor complex. So we want to open those up too, a little bit at a time. Okay, we're gonna hit your lats a little bit. Your lats are an upper body muscle that run all the way down to connect down here. So they make a big difference. What you're gonna want is something about this high. Well, if you're sitting like I am, something about this high off the ground for you to put your hands on, or you can stand and put your hands on like a table, or we could use like a chair or a couch. And so what I'm gonna do is my hands are gonna go on top, and I'm gonna sit down through and let my chest sink down towards the floor. And then I'm gonna do that same kind of rock I've been doing all day. Like rock over to one side, find that lat. Now we're gonna let the elbows bend just a little bit like this. Lat action, and then we got one more thing to do, because I promised you guys the other day we would table twist. So we're going to table twist. We're going to go feet down, hips facing up, go to support on your hands. We're going to lean over to one side, support. I'm going to reach my opposite hand over towards the ground and drive my hips up as high as I can, and then come down and switch. Hips up, reach. I'm gonna rock back and forth. If your belly's coming out, you're doing it right. One more per side. Big hips, reach. Last one. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your daily mobility flow. And I gotta tell you what, let me tell you what, I had a friend growing up who used to say that all the time. let me tell you what. I feel good. My low back feels way better than when we started. I mean, like, significantly. So thanks for coming along on this journey with me. I hope you feel better than when you started. If you did, drop me a little comment, click a little like. It will be greatly appreciated, and I will see you guys in 2 days. Later.